Monika Czerveniak with Fearless Cooking, and today on our menu we have steak and onions. But the steak and onions are going to be with a little bit of a different twist. We're going to fry those onions and we're going to make a beautiful sauce with our steaks. I have here some gorgeous New York steaks, as you can see. We got beautiful marbling here. That's what you need for it. It might be a little bit too much of the fatty parts here, but don't throw this out because we can render this, and that makes beautiful way to cook with it, like fatty. So I'm just gonna cut a little bit off. I know my partner is not that crazy about fatty parts, but in order for it to cook, it needs to be done. So all we're doing with the steak is, first of all, make sure it's out on the counter, out of your fridge, at least half an hour before you start frying it. But all we're doing is just put a little bit of salt on both sides, and of course some pepper. And that's pretty well it. That's all we're doing with this steak for now. I'm gonna start with it after we've done the onions. The onions are very simple. What I'm doing is just thinly slicing it. Very thin slice. I'm gonna just put them in a bowl, sort of loosen them up. And then what I'm going to do is just put some salt on it. With the salt, all the water will come out of the onions, and that's what I want before I start frying it. But I will also put a little dab of sugar on it. That makes it even more crunchier. Whenever you put salt on any kind of vegetables and just let it sit for a while, your vegetable will be crunchier. It will get all the water out. Okay, we're gonna just let this sit here for a couple of minutes. So now our onions have been sitting here. They're getting rather wet. I'm going to put a little bit of salt here in my flour. Give it a little taste, and a little paprika. And just stir it up a bit. I have here gluten-free flour, but you can use any kind of flour that you want to use. And what we're doing here is take your onions and press them out. See how much water there's coming out of this? Just press it out. And then put it in, loosen it up a bit. And as soon as our oil is ready for frying, we will put them in. So I have here some grapeseed oil that I'm frying out. You can take a chopsticks. If you see bubbles coming around your fat, your oil would be ready to fry. So we'll just wait up just a little bit longer till we see some bubbles. So the bubbles are coming to the surface, if you can see that. Make sure you never fry anything in cold oil. The oil has to be hot enough. It's a very important part. So this one is happening here. Now we're taking our onions. Quickly fry them up. Of course, if you have an air fryer, that's of course fantastic. Just move them about. We want them a little bit darker. But one thing we need to consider when we take them out, they're still frying on, they're going on to fry a little bit longer. So now they're starting to get nice and brown. We'll just take them out. You can put them on a cloth. It's not a good idea to put them on paper towels because they just soak up and get really greasy at the bottom part. So you don't want to do this. This is a very good way to do this. So we're going to continue frying this up. While we're frying this up, this would be a good opportunity for you to maybe push some button like the video or comment, share, subscribe, do any of that stuff. But we're going to continue frying. So we finished our onions, frying that out. Now we're going to start with our steaks, and I'm just going to render a little bit of that fat, which is good stuff. We'll add that later on. Just give it a little bit of olive oil. Get that really hot, and here we are with the steak. Remember, when you put the steak, always put the food away from you. has a beautiful sound here. I'll turn it down a little bit in a second. What's really important is don't touch it. Don't touch your steak for at least 2-3 minutes. We're going to cook each side 2-3 minutes. I like mine more rare. My partner likes it more medium rare. So we'll work on that. But don't start lifting it. Look at it. Leave the piece of meat alone. That would be the best part. So I turned one side over. Now the other side, the other steak. Look at that. Just gorgeous. Now we're going to do that in another 2 minutes. And then we're going to make a sauce out of it. But in the meantime, I'm going to put a couple of garlic cloves on it. A little bit of butter in here now. So I'm going to just baste this a little bit. Keep basting it. Now at this time you can put some herbs in it. I only have some Italian parsley at home right now. But some thyme would be nice. Let's flavor up our sauce. And let's keep basting it. Taking the meat, the rare one out now. Leave that in for another minute or so. So we'll take this one out now. Now it's very important that we rest our steak. And I'm going to make a little sauce out of it. This is some red wine. And we're scraping off the bottom part here. This is the farm. To put a little bit of vegetable stock here. And I'm going to reduce this sauce now. By reducing, I mean we are going to cook the sauce up and getting less liquid. And that will thicken the sauce a bit. I'm going to add some of these onions in there. I'm just going to finish it off. I'm going to try to give it a taste. Delicious. Smooth, silky, just the way we want it. And just let it sit here, and we're going to cut the steaks. So our steaks has relaxed, have been sitting here for 10 minutes. I'm going to just cut into it and see what's happening. This is a beautiful rare steak. Look at this, just gorgeous. I'll put a sauce on it. We're adding the crunchy ones on it. Now you can never make enough of these onions. Everybody loves them. Well, here you have it. Steak and onions with a different twist. Very simple, just a little bit different. And I hope you enjoyed this session. Remember, be fearless in your kitchen.